are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony show.
Really do like that good ass.
Anthony, how are you, my friends?
Good, dude. Very excited. Well rested. I know you are, Brian. Big Monday here for the Sports Board, just for everyone really involved. You know,
100%.
It might rain, dude. Do you feel that the rain out there?
But I mean, looking on the phone, I know weather reports, typically aren't accurate. But it's saying overnight rain, but that we shouldn't be getting any, this afternoon, which is a good thing.
That is good, dude. I guess, but we'll see.
What do we got for comments? I think
right away off the rip, baby. Josh B, the company Prez says, yo, let's go. Hashtag rep the company.
Let's go. Josh B, best in the business.
Lonnie says, the second best in the business, says, yes,
well.
sir. Let's go. Shout out to the company and Downtown TV.
Shout out to the company.
Hashtag rep the company.
Hashtag rep the company. And I mean, last night, Tony, unbelievable. The horseshoe episodes are always great. Obviously great having Lonnie come in.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, Matthew, Jay in the building,
yeah, dude, that was
Michael holding things down on the other side of the glass, Dean behind the bar.
The trivia questions, Dean.
The trivia questions, the Two Roads trivia questions. I heard next time, though, Big Lou wants to get in the mix as a sponsor.
Stop it, dude. Yeah. Half off your divorce fee, dude.
Oh, my God. But, that was great. The food was great. The late night Southport, too, was really a capper. And it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know if my perception of a restaurant, Tony, has ever changed so much like Southport Pizza has the last couple times we've had it. Ridiculous.
I can't believe that you weren't like that high on it to begin with, though.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It just, I don't know. Maybe it was a combination of things, but it could have been, maybe you had somebody that, is not always in the kitchen working that one day that I had it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the flavor has been out of this world. And Lonnie saying yesterday was fun, guys.
Hell yeah, dude.
Clutch Southport Pizza by Double B. He knows it.
Yeah.
He knows it.
And Lonnie came hungry. You could tell, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he was hungry. He was ready to go.
Oh, he wanted the ice cream.
We did miss that part. But dude, I think we had enough food.
No, I think we did have enough. I will say, like, specifically too, last night's pie, again, maybe it was like a combination of things.
Yep.
But that pie was like specifically especially tasty, dude.
Yeah.
Like it really was.
And I'm thinking, and I could be wrong. I think, because it was Sammy's daughter working the register. I know she's seen me in there a couple times with you guys. And I know Michael and you, very known in those parts. So maybe they're like, wow, these guys are respectful. They asked is it okay if we get a pizza?
Right.
Like, I think they appreciated that courtesy and wanted to hook it up.
I think so. And listen, the amount of times we promote that pizzeria and the amount of times we go there too, that's like the spot to go to for us. If we ever want to get like a slice or whatever, or a pie, after the show, they know we're going there.
Yeah. And I think like yesterday was a perfect example. No need for the slice. A couple people wanted a piece.
Right,
get a whole
exactly,
pie.
dude.
No need for slices.
No, exactly. No need for slices. But Brian, if it was just you,
well, I would have just wanted to have the pizza for lunch today. No,
I don't know, man.
It is tough, though. I mean, like, obviously, we all do it. But like, what's your philosophy on the next day slice?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like in terms of no, you're down for it, but like, there's nothing like the original, like right out of the oven type of deal.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously you're not going to get that effect again, I suppose. But I still enjoy, put like a slice on like a, stovetop pan and just, frying it up a little bit, heat it up that way.
Air fryer too, or no?
No, I never do the air fryer.
Have you tried it and like didn't work, or like?
I mean, I may have, and it just came out too fried. Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like I always have done like put on a pan, tin foil, low heat, let it kind of.
Any oil in the pan or no?
No, you need oil in the pan.
Doesn't stick.
No,
not stick pan.
No, not stick pan. Cast iron. What's up?
There you go.
Okay, here we go, dude. Lonnie is going off now. He says no, they saw totes.
Too hungry
ass walking in and said cha-ching, dude.
No, they
your hungry ass walking in and said cha-ching. Now I see, dude. Laughing at his own joke is Lonnie, by the way. Josh B says next day slice in the toaster oven, the best.
Seems
dude.
like it's something you would enjoy, Tony. In the toaster.
Yeah, toaster's good.
Yeah, toast it up, warm it up. Right?
Exactly, dude. Michael would love that. Lonnie says pizza in the oven only, or just eat in room temperature. I'm assuming he says fuck it. I've done the slice hot out of the fridge, dude.
I've done it a bunch
cold out of the
too, and I like it, but I still think it's like there's nothing like it warmed up.
No, yeah. I mean, there's really nothing like it fresh, warmed up. And I do think, honestly, for me, the best way to warm it up is on the stove, like on a pan. Because you let it go like low and slow, cheese melts, then you crank it, crispy bottom, you're good to go, dude.
The whole pie right now, we
easily gone.
Did you eat breakfast?
No.
Keeping it light.
Keeping it light, dude.
Yeah.
Well, lunchtime,
Gaetanos? Closed on Mondays.
Closed on Mondays. Tight, dude, which is such a, like, I don't know, man.
They were never closed on Mondays.
Really?
This just started within the last year.
Kind of bogus, dude. But I got Dr. Proper later, so I don't know.
Dr. Proper.
Maybe I guess every Gaetano's closed on Monday? Even the Westport one?
I am not sure. Look it up. I haven't been to the Westport one in a while. I was just in Shelton, I think last week actually. But typically I'm always Stratford.
I've never. I think the last time I was at the Westport one, I mean, must have been.
Let's see, Stratford today closed. Westport today closed. They're definitely all three. Yeah.
Yeah. Shelton.
Oh,
wow.
Shelton opened on Monday. You know why? Those RD Cinto towers, a lot of workers. They're not giving up a day of business.
The what towers?
The big office building towers. They're called RD Cinto. I feel like you've seen the commercials. That's one thing. Like Matt's cracked up. Like I would get tight. Like the same commercial for like 10 years.
Oh, with the office building, with like the owner is like, oh, this is
talent pool coming from Dowd County.
Yeah. Okay, dude.
To Shelton.
Yeah.
You get a very diverse group of workers. Like over tight, and over.
Have you been in one of those buildings?
Yeah. I have.
Like that one specifically on the commercial with the weird art in the fucking lobby.
I think they all look the same.
Oh, like, they're all the same?
4 of them. Yeah. And I think Big Lou has a satellite office there.
Stop it,
and dude. He's only on number 2.
I think what does Lonnie say? Oh, Lonnie says pizza fresh out of the fridge is cool, but that's from being fucked up the night before. Lonnie's losing it, dude. I think Lonnie's dying for some Southport right now.
I really think he is.
Dude, by the way, speaking of ice cream, this weekend, cherry dipped cone, dude.
From where?
Sunny Days, Post Road.
And
what's up, dude?
I think they're capitalizing after DQ discontinued theirs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sunny Days was always great. Never really have it, but anytime I have.
Dude, like we went in there, I don't know, when it was Friday night, maybe? It doesn't Friday night, let's say. Maybe Saturday night, doesn't matter. No, Friday night.
No, I think it was Thursday.
Thursday night. Really?
Come on, Tony.
No, I want to say Saturday night probably. But
no, you went Saturday Friday night, like midnight. Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah, Saturday night was Colony midnight. Friday was
ice cream before dinner.
No. Whoa. Friday night after your place, I guess, right?
You got it at like 11 o'clock?
Yeah, it must have.
Wow, I didn't know they stayed open that late.
Maybe it was Thursday. It doesn't fucking matter, honestly, dude. Sunny Days, I think I've been there maybe once in my life. And I was like really surprised by like the amount of good stuff they had. Like the cones that like Mike and Jay got, waffle cones, ice cream looked awesome. I got cherry dipped. I could have easily gotten 3 other things that caught my eye, like we got to go back there, dude.
All the toppings, the flavors,
toppings, dude, the root beer floats,
the
milkshakes, dude, the Reese's peanut butter ice cream, like, oh, dude. And then the sugar cone I had cherry dipped, the soft serve vanilla. So good, dude.
Can't beat it. And I honestly think like there's so many different good things, but I honestly think the cherry dipped cone might be number 1. Like a really good soft serve vanilla.
Yeah, it is.
And like a spot on cherry dip. Like, how do you really beat that?
It is tough, dude. It's funny because I've never been, again, like cherry dipped. I think I've gotten maybe 3 times in my life before this weekend. Mother, big proprietor of the cherry dipped. And it hit the spot. It was like exactly what I needed.
And like if you're comparing it to like, and I know you know, just get a smaller medium, but like to like a large Blizzard or something like lighter. You know what I mean? It's not overwhelming.
It is definitely lighter.
It's enough.
I will say though, medium. I think
medium cone.
Which the medium cone was still
pretty big,
quite big, dude.
Yeah.
I will say though, I was making a mess of myself.
Really?
And I was like
on the bench outside or no?
Standing in the parking lot. And it's funny because Mike and Jay were like ready to get in the car, and I'm like, dude, I'm not done yet. I can't eat this in the car, dude. Like I got to eat this here.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this because you were mentioning the milkshakes. I feel like I really like milkshakes, but at the same time, I feel like it's like every time I'm at an ice cream place like that, I want regular ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't want to it's good, but I think the regular ice cream is better.
I mean, yeah, I know. It really depends. Sometimes the milkshakes are just too like, it's just not the same. I don't know. It just has the same effect as getting scoops of ice cream.
Right.
And then also for me, I mean, milkshakes, I don't get anything crazy with milkshakes. It's normally either just like vanilla, like a vanilla milkshake.
What about a Oreo or Reese's?
Sometimes.
One or the other. Which one?
If I had to choose, Reese's.
Yeah, a Reese's, any type of like chocolate peanut butter shake, amazing.
And it just goes so well. It just translates well into ice cream and the shakes. Like cookies and cream, I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but Reese's Blizzard all the time. That's the go-to.
Lonnie asking which number coffee is that, Double B? And I'm gonna say that, you know, most days, Lonnie, I'm very consistent with my coffee. It's just 2 per day. The homemade cold brew on my way in, and then right before the show, Yanni, get the Cumberland Farms, and then maybe like before an afternoon round of golf, I'll get a cappuccino. But most of the time, stick with the 2. That's plenty. You know, it's not like the Dunkin' Donuts 3 a days.
So you're only on number 2.
Stop with Big Lou, Tony. Stop. And then Lonnie with a little scud here, saying that I made a mess of myself once again eating pizza. Tony, luckily you wasn't around because that Mets jersey might have ended up saucy. LOL. One little spot, was able already, like, kind of basically got it out. Just went right to the bathroom.
Did you drop sauce on your jersey?
It was the smallest amount. No, it wasn't on the jersey. It was because I take it actually in preparation, Tony. Not kidding. Took off the jersey. Did have one bite before the jersey was off.
That's good, I guess, right?
Yeah, you got to plan ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, man, with the pizza, especially when it's fresh like that. The cheese is slippery. It's hot, saucy.
I'm actually impressed that the top of my mouth isn't burnt today because I kind of got right after it. Usually right out of the oven. I mean, that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
nothing like burning the most annoying things: burning the root of your mouth or the tip of your tongue.
Yeah,
so like uncomfortable,
especially
and annoying.
If it's I mean, if you're getting ready to eat and it's like your first bite and you burnt your mouth, and this is not
it's over. But sometimes you just go, you know what? It's gonna be terrible tomorrow. I'm just gonna go all
Don't
out
even
right
care.
now.
Yeah. I'll burn my whole mouth down. Take me to the ER.
Exactly, Tony. It's only number 2, and B took that jersey off because he knew. I mean, he did know. What can I say?
On the back, dude.
What can you do? Last food question for you, Tony.
What do you got, dude?
What's for lunch?
That's the thing. I didn't really.
You're not prepared. What time's proper?
I didn't. 12:15. So
okay, there's a little window.
There's a window.
Slight window. How far away is he from here?
God, he's like deep into Westport. It's like 20 minutes.
Oh,
dude.
So really, it would be something like on the way. You were hoping Gaetano's would be open. You're not going to go to Shelton.
It would have to be probably on the way back.
On the way back, so you're going to be starving at that point.
Maybe Village Bagels. I don't know, dude. Also, I didn't have time. I didn't grocery shop this weekend. Didn't meal prep. No time. No food. What are you going to do? Got to figure it out on the road. It's a tough time, dude.
You know what you have to try? You made me think about this because you said Village Bagels. And I think I've definitely mentioned it before. But Village Gourmet in Norwalk. Because you do like Chinese or no?
Love Chinese, dude.
You have to.
I feel like you've mentioned that place before, right?
I know. Probably not really. Like you're probably not really around there too much because it's like Cranberry area of Norwalk, closest to exit 41 on the Merritt.
Oh wow, yeah, no, never.
But the sesame chicken, so crispy. Are you kidding? The wonton soup, ridiculous. Dude. The chicken and broccoli, putting the sauce with the white rice. Stop, right?
Dude,
the broccoli.
honestly, dude,
How good is broccoli in that sauce?
So good.
Ridiculous.
And I don't even get it because I feel like Chinese food broccoli is just like raw broccoli.
But it's
like,
so
but
good.
it's so
No, but this
dude.
one, it definitely is like a sauteed or something.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's really good. And Lonnie's saying that PGA Tour shirt was ruined.
That's right.
You'll see it next time.
Dude.
There's going to be no stains. We got a bottle of Shout now after we had to get it out of the Garrett Cole jersey. And then he says, get Jersey Mike's, guys, which I would say, Gaetano's not open, not in the area. Right. Jersey Mike's is a solid option for that type of thing.
I don't think there's one around here, though, right? Where's
there's one in Stratford, and there's one in Stamford, and I think there's one in Norwalk as well.
Okay, so not in Fairfield or like Westport.
Gotta look it up.
Dude.
Yeah, right now. Look it up.
Look it up. All right, look it up.
And Tony, like I know, before you even say anything, I know what you're thinking. Like you want the
Black Rock Turnpike.
Oh, right. Okay, so there you go. But I know you want the Italian deli, like not the chain.
Yeah, dude.
I get it.
I'm gonna go to.
You want a deli.
I forgot how poppin' the area of Black Rock is. Crumble Cookies, Duchess.
A&S is right there too, so it's tough to like
Garden Kate. Dude, I'm gonna go A&S every time.
But Jersey Mike's, I have to say, is pretty good for like a chain place.
No, it is, dude. It is. It's pretty solid, but I mean,
A&S is
like over a legitimate deli. Come on, dude.
Gaetano's the best or no?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's better than A&S.
Yeah.
Their chicken cutlets are always so good. Definitely better than Fire. I haven't been to Fire Engine in forever, but I think what Gaetano's has over everyone is their bread.
Arthur.
Yeah.
How are you?
You like the second you bite into it, you can like feel and taste the difference.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. In the quality of everything, the cutlets, the toppings,
even just the experience
cuts,
working there,
dude. Experience.
Dude, when Jay and I went there the other day, they had their own soda. I didn't realize they had their own. So Gaetano's root beer. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I want to try the steak and cheese. I don't know if you've seen the signs.
I've seen the signs,
gotta be ridiculous.
It has to be. I actually saw because, like, you know how in Stratford you can like peek over to the kitchen and see him cooking. And the guy was cooking steak and onions and peppers. I was like, wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah, dude. I used to get the soup from there, chicken noodle and pasta fazool.
Dude,
unbelievable.
Pasta fazool.
Always could go for a good.
We were looking at it's funny. We looked at the menu and she was like, "Wow, I wonder how much a tray of like petty vodka is." Like $95, but it's like, dude, have some dinner for a couple of days.
Yeah. No, that's something that I feel like we mess up, and we've done it for the Super Bowl, but like with Remos, for instance, like there's a big group. I mean, the trays is the value deal. Like, you're gonna get your money's worth like tenfold.
I mean, you're gonna feed like 5 people pretty easily with that tray, like
even more, dude. I mean, as long as it's not 5 of us. Yeah. Oh man, but that is good stuff. So kind of just like touching upon yesterday, we'll start with the golf, and we were watching it live, obviously, but it really is one of the stories of the year. 43-year-old Lucas Glover, winning last week in Wyndham, having the 5-shot lead over Cantlay, blowing it, not making that putt on 18. But then winning in a playoff, for a guy that you really felt like the better days were behind him. It had been a while since he had won in general, and especially since that 2009 U.S. Open victory. So for him, like just seemingly out of nowhere to win the last 2 events on the PGA Tour, it's like, are you kidding? And it's like, how does that type of thing happen? He's been a pro since 2001, just to give you an idea of how long he's been around. And then all of a sudden, virtue of winning these last 2 events, he's now 4th in the FedEx Cup standings. So like actually has a legit shot at Eastlake, and especially, this week, if he's able to, win at the BMW, I mean, he could be leading. I think there's a potential there. With those 2,000 FedEx Cup points going his way. So it really is unbelievable. Again, the jokes about Lucas Glover's wife continue. Lonnie's saying Lucas Glover's wife is looking for Tony after his comments last night.
Lonnie, I don't think you've seen her because I don't think he knew about this whole thing. But this is what we're all working with here. Okay. Like that's the mugshot of the night, dude. That is it. My God. Lonnie, do you see this, Lonnie? Lonnie, tell me you're looking at this right now. I hope you're not with your eyes closed in your bed right now. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you never wish anything upon anyone like that, dude. But you know what? He won. She's got to be happy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I feel like we haven't seen any like updates, like if everything's all good now, or because that was a couple years ago, right? Like the whole
I want to say like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think afterwards they released a statement. They're staying together, get through this. It was a mistake. They love each other, make up for it, stuff like that. Which
I still just don't get what she was tight about.
It was to me. It was it's from what I read up on. It seemed like that she was tight on him on like I guess him not making enough money on the PGA Tour or something, not winning enough because his level, like his play, was an issue. And then I know that she was drunk at the house, and his mother may have gotten involved. There was the mother-in-law dude, scuffle, words, got to physical, try to break him up. It was a whole big to do, dude.
But I think going into this year, he had almost made $30 million. And after winning these last 2 events, he's up to 34. I know there's taxes and stuff, but that's not enough. I mean, you want to talk about entitled.
Right. These women are greedy. Okay, dude. They don't
Why
want.
Do you think there's divorces?
Yeah, exactly, dude. They're nothing. They're blood-sucking leeches.
Josh having fun with it. The crying emojis. Kev back to the Yankees and the Mets sucking.
Kept doing the house.
Rep the company, of course. And Lonnie saying, "Of course I didn't know. I don't watch golf, and yeah, that crazy-looking blonde is coming for you, dude. Dude,
loves the dude now.
Loves the dude. Yeah, I mean, it really impressive. You think about that situation as well. I mean, I'm sure that's not easy to deal with. The fact that he's able to win these last 2 events. I mean, I know you're not easily impressed, Tony, but this is impressive. No,
it is. Do you think Lou's getting a call? Divorce imminent or?
No, I don't, because I don't think he wants to lose half his rack.
I don't think so. And there's kids involved too. I'm pretty sure.
Kids, yeah, 100%.
Dude.
So just to give you an idea of where we stand, FedEx Cup standing wise. So John Rahm still in first. He's only 148 points ahead of Scheffler. So if they're in the conversation this week at the BMW, that could change very quickly. Rory, with a nice finish, he stayed in third here, but he's 432 points behind Rahm. So again, a win would get him into first. And Lucas Glover, I mean, he's only 501 points behind. He was 49th, Tony, coming into this tournament.
That's crazy.
And now he's 4th. Now he's in the Comcast Tour Business Top 10, which is nuts. Patrick Cantlay shooting up from 13 to 5. Max Homa, going from 4 to 6. So that's, not terrible. Hovland staying at 7. Wyndham Clark moving from 5 to 8. Brian Harmon moving from 6 to 9. And then Tommy Fleetwood jumping inside that top 10 with a going from 26th to 10th. And he was, tied for 3rd in this tournament. So needless to say, Tony, it's going to be a very exciting BMW championship as we get down to the top 30 golfers at that chance to win the Tour Championship. I believe it's $18 million goes to the winner in that one. So that's going to be exciting stuff. Obviously, this week we will start in Olympia Fields, Illinois for the BMW Championship. But week 17 or no? At this point,
it is pretty crazy how far we have come in the PGA Tour here. But I will say, though, we certainly have some exciting golf going on. Like you said, for Lucas Glover to bunny hop all these players, make it in the business top 10, Comcast business top 10, dude. That's sick. And we talked about it all week, like a kind of like an underdog guy from behind in the standings. If he wins this tournament, he'll be in the game here. Really could be anyone's game. And it is, dude. I think it's going to create some great buzz for this couple.
And I know, we've talked about it, but kind of reiterating, it's just, I feel like that's what makes golf so amazing. And it's like almost like unlike any sport where the normal guy, 4 great days, and he's a legend for life.
Yeah.
And even that's after struggling for years and years to even stay in the game.
Yeah.
Just think about what we've seen, this season with Brian Harmon winning the Open, Wyndham Clark winning the U.S. Open, and then Lucas Glover winning back-to-back tournaments. Like we said, no one had won back-to-back tournaments here, and Lucas Glover does it.
Crazy.
So that's why golf is just awesome. And we are obviously down to the top 50 now, and then that will shrink to 30. So another no-cut event there at the BMW. So we will definitely, do our preview of that on Wednesday. So looking forward to wrapping up this season. And you would think, Tony, and like obviously we'll make our picks on Wednesday. And of course, see what happens over the course of this tournament. But you would think after, I know Rory was in the top 5, but those top 3 golfers, I mean, didn't really seem at any point that they were going to win it, that they would be in the conversation this week. That one of those guys in the top 3 conceivably, will win this tournament here at the BMW. I mean, is that kind of what you're thinking, or would you not be surprised for some guy a lot lower to kind of break his way in here?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We were just talking about it, like Lucas Glover, the back-to-back. I mean, I don't think you can just say, like, the guys and the top-rated golfers are for sure going to have a victory here. I mean, we saw McIlroy struggle a little bit yesterday. I mean, I feel like these guys. John Rahm got off to a slow start, this past weekend too at St. Jude. So. I think it really is anyone's game. I really wouldn't be surprised if some other not as popular golfer like won. Yeah.
And, it'll be interesting too. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But the staggered start, I believe it's a 2-shot lead. You start with the Tour Championship. And like if someone that would start this tournament, maybe 5 shots back, 6 shots back at Eastlake ends up winning, that would be pretty exciting. And I think we have it too much ingrained in our mind. Oh, well, they're starting a tournament with a lead. Of course, they're not going to blow it. And it's like, have we watched golf before? Like crazy things happen all the time.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy if they start with the lead. Like that's really cool.
So you're okay with it?
Yeah.
Because I guess the only reason why, and actually the last year that it wasn't like this was actually in, I think it was 2018, Tiger Woods won the Tour Championship, and it was just a whole point system, but he won the Tour Championship, but then didn't win the FedEx Cup. And they didn't like the fact that it almost made winning the Tour Championship
like irrelevant.
Right. Other than the prize money.
Right.
So that's why they've gone to the staggered start, because you win like the FedEx Cup playoffs by just winning the tournament. Obviously, the guys that are 30th, they're starting pretty far back, so it's tougher. But yet it makes everybody in the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it makes like you're almost like, I feel like in golf, people just think it's all tournament to tournament to tournament. Like there's no like grander picture, but this is showing like this is like you've been working towards having an advantage, something like that. I like that.
One live thing I wanted to touch on, Cam Smith, I think he had like a couple shot lead over Phil Mickelson, who imploded yesterday. So he ends up, I think, winning by a very wide margin at Bedminster in New Jersey. But could you pull up? I've heard about this. I haven't seen the shot, but I guess this weekend, Cam Smith hit a ball off the cart path. And I think a driver off the cart path. And I feel like I need to see this. I don't know how the club doesn't, the club doesn't break.
This has got to be it.
No.
March 3rd.
No.
3 days ago.
I would go. Okay.
Straight videos.
Let's see. Or don't do driver. Just put Cam Smith off cart path. And go to the general search.
I mean, this is it from Golf Magic.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Hopefully, they can show a little video here.
Yeah. Let's see this. Looks like maybe a 3-wood or 5-wood.
Yeah. Wow. Let's make this full screen for your boy. This is
crazy.
This is coming from the X app. This is kind of ridiculous.
How? Like no hesitation. How does the club not break?
Picked it off the top.
What the hell? Dude?
Hits it, still in the first cut there, not even in the rough. Like, how is that possible? I mean, I guess it's all just club control.
Yeah.
But
like really,
I would think that would really mess up the club. But I think he didn't really hit the. He didn't really hit.
It was all ball. I don't even know how you could do that. Honestly, it's fucking crazy.
So that's why Cam Smith one of the best golfers in the world.
Did you see the hole-in-one, by the way, this weekend? Who had the hole-in-one?
That's it.
Oh, gosh.
And this was in Live, or
I
this
forget
was...
who it was.
Was it Live, or was it PGA?
It was PGA.
So just do, do the St. Jude, hole-in-one PGA St. Jude. Sam Burns.
Sam Burns.
Let's see, Sam Burns. I feel like he's had other hole-in-ones.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
I don't know if it was at the Players Championship, maybe.
Oh, the ads, dude.
Gotta love the ads.
Like, come on, man. Like, as if the PGA Tour is making enough money. Although maybe not.
A lot of money to pay out.
Oh, what the fudge? Sorry, going back now. Give me another ad. Whoop, dude. Are you a Whoop guy? I feel like you would wear the Whoop thing, you know?
I don't even know what that is.
It's like it tracks literally everything you do all the time, like in terms of like heart rate, stress, how much sleep you get, how much good sleep, how much bad sleep you're getting. Like a lot of athletes wear them. All right, so let's check it out here. We got Sam Burns. Looks like on the 11th hole. It's a par 3 here. Obviously at this point, I guess he wasn't much in the game. 4 over. But he like it sinks right in the hole, dude. Like it's really impressive.
you get like you almost miss it.
Yeah, like literally.
I don't know if they're gonna go back to this.
They have to, dude. It's a 2-minute clip. They're like, yeah, dude, so like kind of ridiculous that this went in. I was showing Jay the other day. They're gonna redo it.
Or just start from the top, Tony.
No.
Oh, okay.
There's the flight path there. You're looking at the ball. You're watching the ball, and then all of a sudden,
I literally miss it.
Yeah, like you don't.
I'm guessing hit part of the stick, part of the side of the cup, right?
Yeah.
Did it leave a divot right outside the...
It looks like it a little bit, right?
Yeah. Wow. And he throws it into the crowd. You'd think he'd want that.
You would think he would want that.
Tied it around, though, I think.
Yeah, 4 over, dude. Nothing's good there.
Yeah.
And then he's just, he's like fixing the hole.
Yep.
There we go.
So, yeah, that definitely hit that corner, hit the stick, and then just stayed in.
It almost ripped the hole up, dude.
Pretty impressive stuff, I have to say.
I mean, obviously it's very impressive. I can't do that. But there's certainly a little luck involved too there, Brian.
Yeah. And hopefully luck, one of these days falls our way for that, I have to say.
That would be pretty fire, dude.
Yeah, 100%, Tony. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drill deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Dude.
There it goes.
See ya.
Did you think that I was a little too jacked up about management last night, Tony?
No. Come on.
I feel like, though, you kind of understood what I was saying or no?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, everyone has to be held accountable at the end of the day. Like, that's just what it is,
Right.
Like,
and I think, though, it seemed like we were on different sides of this, but I think we both, were right, basically. Because it's yes, the players... they got to do their job regardless of the circumstances. But at the same time, good management can help and get the best out of people.
Right.
And I think the reason why I was just so fired up, because it's like, I just know that while the Yankee management, and, from the top down, going from Hal to Cashman to Boone is atrocious, but it doesn't make Stanton hit 200. It doesn't make LeMahieu hit 230 all season. It doesn't make the entire team not get hits with runners in scoring position. Like, that has nothing to do with it. That's on them. And I think that's what I was jacked up about. It's so sick of these excuses. And I just feel like in general, just in sports, you got players, if like an announcer were to rip him or whatever, they'll start this whole vendetta around them. I just think they're too soft, and they just want everything gift wrapped. At the end of the day, all athletes in general these days.
It really is kind of crazy. You talk about all athletes in generals. I mean, they really do. And they're just like prima donnas, it seems, across all sports. I don't know, man. I think you really need someone to come in with some grit and just like an attitude that's just like obviously like a bend but don't break type of attitude, but still be like someone's got to put their foot down. I feel,
I do think though, like if you think about it, like in a ranking the four major sports, like I would say hockey and baseball are pretty much at the top of the list, where not so much prima donna.
Right.
Obviously basketball being the worst. And I think NFL kind of floating in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's more with like certain positions.
Yeah.
And just like the whole holdout scenarios and stuff. But do you think we'll ever see like a big like change where the owners, the management, the league kind of takes back the power from the players?
Like just like you mean in any sport in general, or like?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess obviously NBA, of course, sticks out.
So
I mean,
tough,
it's so
dude.
like beyond hope. I mean, I guess there's not really a problem in baseball, but I just think though the guys, like it's nice, like they're not saying, oh, we're not going to play. There's no like a holdout or anything, or making it saying I'm not going to play till you trade me type of deal. But I do think though they do have a lot of guys have problems receiving criticism.
I do think so too. And I mean, honestly, I don't know, Barnes. I really don't see a change happening anytime soon, to be honest. Excuse me, especially like, I mean, I think, you use like Live Tour as an example. I mean, I feel like that could be proof that, like, let's say, the NBA decides to like, hey, we're going to be more strict with players in terms of, like managing their amount of games they play, like rest time, money, and stuff like that. I just think that you would see like a Saudi league come in and scoop up players, more money, do whatever you want, the fame, and kind of have that holdout almost like Live Tour did with the PGA. I think that at this point, like these major sports, NFL, NHL, MLB, I mean, they could, there could be another league that forms, so I feel like given the opportunity for the owners to maybe try to make a push to be more strict with players, I mean, I think there's kind of more for them to lose than the players,
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, it's more just like, I think the biggest thing is not even like broadcasters. It's the fact that it's like ingrained in everybody's mind, these owners, these general managers, that you need a player-friendly manager.
Right.
You can't have an old school manager, and you can't have anybody that calls out their players to the press, or you could see from watching the game that they're getting right in their face, in the dugout. And now it seems like we've moved to this point where pretty much every organization wants to go young with the manager, wants to go inexperienced with the manager. And of course, there's a lot of talk of, the GM really being the manager. But I think the one exception is those teams that feel like they need to get over the hump. They're going to the older manager. And obviously it worked with Houston and Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
You saw Texas bring in Bruce Bochy. Obviously, Girardi and La Russa didn't work out with the Phillies and the White Sox, but there's some evidence, of that out there.
Yeah.
And I am just going to be very interesting to see, like, if the reports are that they're going to kind of use Boone as a scapegoat, and let's say, the Yankee season finishes very, very poorly, that they quite possibly consider a more experienced, older manager instead of the younger, player-relatable manager.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough. I think you kind of have to look at it at a situation by situation basis. Like some of the teams you mentioned, like the Astros, for example. I mean, bringing in Dusty Baker clearly was a great move, but back when they even made the decision, people were saying right away, like, for the situation the Astros are in, to have a manager that's been around the league and knows how to handle things, like that's a good fit for them, right? Tony La Russa, obviously, White Sox, the drinking, not a great fit. And then even, Girardi for the Phillies. I mean, to hear Bryce Harper talk about how he hated coming to practice, going to work every day because the way Girardi handled everything, I mean, that's not good, So I think you kind of have to look at it on like, again, like a team by team basis. But I don't know, man. I think that there's, advantages and also disadvantages, pros and cons to having either or. I mean, I feel like the Yankees could use, I think, some fresh blood, but also, I mean, like, people are thinking like, oh, it'd be sick if they had like Derek Jeter come in and manage. Again, I think having someone with more weight to their name might be better for the Yankees. I mean, I understand, Aaron Boone obviously played. He had, a couple big moments in his career. But in reality, I mean, I feel like, you bring in Derek Jeter, that's going to be a type of manager that walks in the room and it's going to be dead silent and all eyes, all ears are going to be on what he's talking about. People are going to listen to him.
And you know what's created this too of why we can't get guys like Derek Jeter to manage the Yankees is because they made too much money in their playing career.
Right.
They don't want the travel schedule.
Care.
Renee coming in fresh from the weekend, coffee in hand.
Wow.
And they made too much money, so there's no motivation. And it's almost like what we were talking about last night with the whole, like, there are certain guys, like you mentioned, like Trout, for instance, and obviously Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter come to mind, that just like love the game so much or so like locked in, dialed in, almost like Sauce Gardner, where they don't want to be away from the game and they will do anything for the game, and that's important to them. But I think the money has gotten in the way of that, and that's why you're not going to see Derek Jeter manage the Yankees. But maybe you see from the previous generation guys who have already been managers, and Matt really likes this idea, and I wasn't really thinking of it at first, but I do like the idea of Donnie Baseball as the Yankee manager. He's already been an assistant coach. He's an assistant coach for the Blue Jays now. He did well in a horrendous situation in Miami. I think something like that makes a lot of sense. And I think he has something to prove, being that he never broke through with the Dodgers.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned Miami. I mean, I think he really did a phenomenal job there.
Right.
And look kind of how Miami's been doing recently. Like, they kind of got set up nicely, I suppose. And again, I mean, you talk about someone who has more weight to their name. I mean, Donnie Baseball, like that's another big name that can come in. I will say though, I mean, I don't know, is there a reason why he's not with what's the reason why he's not managing anymore? Was there any backlash to how he was managing?
No, but I think just the general push by these teams to go young, to go inexpensive, cutting back on expenses. And that's the general reason why. And the Blue Jays had an assistant job hanging out there. And that's why, it was brought in. But I just think that as much as we can't rely on or Brian Cashman to make good decisions, I do think, a complete collapse, and Boone has definitely embarrassed himself to the media. I think he said some garbage last night. I didn't even listen to it after the game. But there might be a thought that, maybe we really do need to, go back to our roots and go with people that played the game the right way and know how to set examples. I do think there is that possibility, and we've already seen them. And I know it's a limited role, but bringing Andy Pettitte as an advisor, he's going to be with the team in Atlanta. I just saw. So I think it's conceivable, Tony, that they go veteran manager, especially if this whole season completely crashes and burns, and I'm talking 5-10 games under 500 or even more.
Sorry, you confused for a second. I thought you were telling me Pettitte was going to be with the Braves.
Oh no,
I was like in Atlanta. No, yeah, I mean that's huge. And like you were saying, like having that veteran again. Like I think of like Anthony Volpe, obviously someone who grew up being a Yankees fan, to have that name in the clubhouse.
Speaks volumes.
It's volumes, dude. He's going to be like cheesing as if like when he first walked out on the diamond, this season. Like it's that type of I think leadership management that would certainly get some results out of the players.
And that, where do you want to go? Let's assume that the buck is gone. What type of manager do you want for the Mets?
That's tough, dude. I mean, I feel like, again, like taking this thing as a situation by situation basis, right? I mean, I do feel like if Buck is gone, he was kind of your prime example of the old school, stern, holding people accountable, getting back to fundamentals type of manager. Not to say those things aren't good, but I feel like you would have to try and bring in not necessarily a young manager, but just someone who has recently left the game. You know, I know people talked about Beltran a lot. I think it'd be worth revisiting Carlos Beltran to see what he could do. Because I mean, obviously, when he was first announced manager, I was pretty hyped.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be a good move. Someone who's smart, knows many different aspects of the game. Of course, the whole cheating thing with the Astros came in. He's gone. Rojas. It just feels like a totally missed opportunity. I think since the dust has cleared, maybe we can kind of sit down with Beltran and figure something out. But I think you got to start to revisit like younger players. I mean, maybe like try and get David Wright on the coaching staff. That would be kind of sick. He was actually just in the booth this past weekend.
How did he look?
Dude, he looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously, I'm not sure how old he is, but I mean, he's not that old.
Did he share much like about what he's been up to or anything?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I mean, it seems like he's just been kind of chilling. Not really doing much of anything. Honestly.
Is he in the New York area or no?
Yeah, I think he's upstate somewhere in New York.
Okay.
But obviously they mostly talked about his career, you missing the game, how's it going, stuff like that. So I mean, it seems like he could be the type of player or the type of person that wants to get back to the game and can finally maybe feel confident of himself, like being like a manager type of role or
kind of
on
finish
the coaching
what he
staff.
didn't get to finish as a player.
Exactly. You see that a lot of times where athletes, because of injuries or whatever, can't play anymore, and they kind of turn to like coaching.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a good fit for David Wright.
So you think like just based on how he sounded that there would at least be some level of interest there if the Mets are interested?
Absolutely, dude. Again, he talked about how much he obviously loves baseball, how sad it is that he can't play anymore, but it's more specifically how great New York has been to him, the Mets organization he totally loved playing for. And I mean, talk about getting fans riled. I mean, that's going to be huge, to bring him in and to kind of, especially with the young group of guys they have in the minors and everything. I think that's sick, dude. That would be awesome.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's kind of similar to my thought process.
Right.
Whether it's Donnie Baseball or even someone more recent. I talk about Tino and Andy. So just from those teams that were successful, that guys that have integrity, that know how to set an example for some of these prima donna younger players.
Right.
I definitely like that thought process. So that'll be interesting to see kind of what both teams do with manager. And obviously we're assuming they're going to make changes after the season, but we won't find out till probably November. At this point.
I will say though, I do feel bad a little bit for Buck if he does get canned, because I feel like he had a couple of years as manager of the Mets, so like things didn't exactly I feel like he just didn't get his shot to prove himself, honestly. Because like you said, a lot of things fell on the players, a lot of things fell on Epler in acquiring certain people. Of course, Buck has made his fair share of mistakes. We talk about managers in big spots. It matters what they decide, and he's made some not so smart calls. But again, I feel like he was never really able this season to manage this team at its full potential. It was until the trade deadline when they actually fielded their whole team that they brought in the offseason. So it would be tough to see him go. But I mean, at this point, I mean, it's
probably gonna happen. And also with him, do you almost feel like, and I know you're saying like it'd be tough to see him go, but the fact that every stop that he's been, he hasn't been able to close a deal. Is it almost like kind of like, well, maybe we are better off trying something different? He's had a lot of opportunities.
He's had a lot of opportunities. I mean, you probably know more with him with the Yankees. I know obviously the narrative there is like the second he left, they were able to win.
How are you?
So it's like but people are like, oh, like Buck set it up,
right?
Like obviously set the tone. And obviously we know about him in Baltimore, but it is, I mean, it's Baltimore, So it's it's almost a similar situation to the Mets. I mean, dude, he managed the Mets to like one of their best seasons in recent history last year. Like, I mean, that's got to be worth something,
Right.
And I understand that narrative he can't close, but again, like seeing the players follow up this season so poorly, I mean, it feels like Buck never really got that chance to get over the hump in the postseason, even in the wild card series last year. I mean, the players blew it, I mean, at that point, it wasn't Buck making poor decisions. It was, Max Scherzer getting absolutely tattooed against the Padres. Like that's something that is out of Buck's control. So that's why you feel a little bad for him. But you know, like you said, maybe it just isn't meant to be for him to get over this hump, because we've seen it now with multiple teams.
Right.
So, you know, you kind of have to look at the bigger picture and say maybe it is something about him. But for me, certainly looking at this year, like at the Mets year, it just seems more like the players failed him rather than the other way around. So that's why you just feel a little bad. But I mean, hey, like I'm looking at it as a fan now, like I'm just trying to win.
Right.
You know, like I don't care.
Yeah.
About your feelings. I don't care about your feelings, Buck.
Right.
All right. Like you it's just not working out, you know?
Right. Right.
It sucks. It sucks for him.
It does. We have a lot of comments to catch up on.
Yeah, dude. Lonnie actually coming in a little hot, dude. He says in regards to the Astros, he says, wait, what? Houston ain't need to get over no hump. They brought in Dusty for a new face because hence allowed those fuckers to cheat, he says.
Hinch, he means. AJ Hinch.
AJ Hinch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought so. I think Lonnie, the thumbs today, I think, man. Maybe they're still a little greasy from the pizza last night. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, yes, like they were cheaters. They cheated, which sucks. But I'm just saying, like, you know, obviously Astros, like any other business facing some type of I guess scandal.
Yeah.
You know, they try to pivot a different way, get rid of their guys currently, bring in some new guys that can handle the situation. You gotta admit, Dusty Baker handled the situation quite well. Especially when you have assholes like Correa complaining about being asked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's ridiculous. You know, I think like Dusty Baker really handled it super well. And of course, you know, you see the Astros win a World Series with him. Obviously you can have your thoughts about them, but you would be under the assumption they were not cheating winning the World Series. I mean, yeah, it does suck, but I mean that again, like that is the hump. I mean, that was a ridiculous story that broke during the offseason, and to see, you know, heads roll out of the Astros organization, even causing waves, you know, against you look at what happened to other players. Again, Beltran couldn't get the Mets managerial position because of it. You know, you had guys, you know, another organization like the Red Sox getting canned, getting looked at. Like, I mean, it caused a lot of waves around the league, and for Dusty to come in and settle the dust, you know, like, I mean, that's gotta be impressive. And he's telling you to stop it, he says. Josh B would love Mattingly as our manager.
Go.
And then Lonnie says hi, Renee, aka Princess Peach. Matthew Gabriel says, and we're back, Josh. I'm on the Mattingly wagon with you, bro. Josh B also said that soft is this generation we're in. Absolutely. And then Danny B says, let's go. Morning, fellas. Forgetting New York baseball. It's football season, he says, dude.
It is football season, but yet at the same time, it's tough to just forget about it.
This is where, Tony, you know, Mike comes in the door, JETS, dude.
Yes. But you agree.
Who cares?
It's tough to just completely forget about it.
I mean, you can't, dude. You really
can't. So, I mean, that's where we're at. And I know, Tony, I mean, it doesn't do much for you, but were you at least a little riled that the Mets came back to salvage that last game last night against
yeah, I guess so. I mean, you know, Senga threw a decent, you know, had a quality start, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, I think 7 Ks.
Kind of like a Scherzer-esque outing.
Yeah.
6 and 3, right?
And, you know,
some
coming
walks
from your ace now, they had 3 walks.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. And I understand that the Braves at this point, I mean, say what you will about them, they're still a great team. They put out, you know, their lineup, and Senga navigated it quite well. I mean, looking at the box score here, let me just pull it up. You know, Nimmo hit well, McNeil did as well. You know, they kind of almost blew it, I guess, towards the later half of the game there. You know, Murphy in the 7th, Olsen in the 8th, the home runs, making it a tight one.
Yeah.
But for, you know, I guess the closer to come in, for Ottavino to have a clean inning, which I feel like, you know, his last couple outings have been absolutely atrocious, was good. You know, so they got a full 9 in and
full 27.
They got a full 27, dude. So.
It's a shame though. Ottavino, nice clean save there. I mean,
doesn't matter.
No, but I mean, how are they not able to trade him at the deadline? That's crazy. No money left after this year, right?
No.
What are they doing?
I don't know what they think. And it's like, are they?
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back. They're not going
to. Robertson more likely to come back.
Yeah, honestly, dude. So they really, I don't know if they just like thought we need to at least keep somebody in our bullpen, which they really didn't have to. I mean, I was a fan of getting rid of Ottavino. I thought you could have got some solid return for him for sure,
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess whatever. Got a 7th save, I think, last night.
How about Olsen up to 43 and 107, Tony?
Leading the league in home runs, dude.
I mean, I think like he's going to be near 60.
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous. I want to see how many, like, if he's just, I mean, it seems like he's been on an absolute tear. I know he's probably had like 4 home runs.
You want splits?
In the series. Yeah. It's you got
so August in 47 at bats, he has 7 home runs, hitting 362 with an 851 slug.
Jesus.
Last 15 days, 10 homers, 24 RBIs, 396 batting average. Last 30 days, 13 homers, 31 RBIs, 344 average.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And the least amount, obviously March was just, I think, 1 game, so that doesn't really count. But the least amount of home runs he has in a month is this month with 7. And obviously there's a lot of time left of the month, but 8 in April,
God,
9 in May, 11 in June, 8 in July. And here we are, August with 7.
Unbelievable. And he's like, and you look at his batting average, it's just gotten better. And
right, because it was like around 240, 250 for a little bit.
No, yeah, you're looking at like, it was probably, in going into June, it was probably around like 230, 240. In June, 272, and then July he was hitting 325, and obviously we know now 362. So for him to bring it up month to month to be better, it's now at 273 for the whole season. I mean, he could be touching like 290 by the end of the year. You know, with possibly 60 home runs.
And I mean,
kind of ridiculous.
It almost feels like 8 years, 168 is a bargain at this point.
Yeah. I know, dude. That good for him, dude.
Top salary is only $22 million.
Unbelievable.
He signed through age 35 with a team option 2030 for $20 million.
Who would have thought, dude? Him, Sean Murphy coming to the Braves.
And I don't know anything about these guys, but I would imagine this trade hasn't worked out too good for Oakland. Ryan Cusick, Joey Estes, Shea Langoliers, and Christian Pache. I know Langoliers.
Yeah, but even so, like
I don't think like he's like
anyone else
good. He's hitting 201 with 11 home runs this year. He's a catcher.
I mean, I guess it's whatever. But.
Was he? Oh, he was a 1st-round pick though from the Braves, huh?
I guess they knew it.
9th overall of the 2019 draft, but he's 25 already. I don't know. That's tough, and that's why like it's just so frustrating because
I mean,
we knew he was an option for the Yankees.
Yeah,
he was. And, the prospects, that's why they're really, what would you say? Like when you're thinking about bringing in somebody and you're questioning giving up prospects, would you say the percent that are like, we can't give them up under 5%? Like just that rationalizes not giving up somebody. Like there's
especially like a 1st-round pick. Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
I don't know, man. Year in and year out, it just seems like the Braves organization, like, it just seems like they know exactly what they have in terms of their players.
Right.
Like,
thank you.
And they know exactly what they're going to be getting from players that they're bringing in. Like it's so impressive. Whether they're bringing in players from other teams from trades or they're bringing up prospects, it just seems like the Braves hit on every fucking player. Like in every transaction they make, it is a good move.
And I could be mistaken. I just want to look this up. So their general manager actually was the Blue Jays general manager from 2006 2015, and then jumped over to the Dodgers as the vice president of baseball operations before moving over to Atlanta. 2 years as general manager, and now he is general manager and president of the baseball operations. But it is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He leaves Toronto. He's in Toronto for 10 years. Makes the playoffs 1 time his last season, loses in the LCS, and then ever since then, it's just been nothing but success. And it's like, it's just crazy how that works. You would look at especially those first 9 years and say, this guy isn't really anything special. All of a sudden, he's like this architect of a potential dynasty.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. What do they got going on in the food over there? Check his drink.
But it's one of those things too, and not to say he doesn't have a big influence on it, but it's like that's why I think we always look at, this general manager is so good and stuff. But it's like the bones of the organization. That's where all these good players are coming in. The scouting, the development, the minor league coaches.
Yeah.
You know?
What do they have? What's the deal, dude?
But it's like almost, and then it's like the thing that's tough is it's not always a lock that you just pluck somebody that is working with them, and then he's gonna be, you know, the patriarch of your organization.
Right.
But I have to say, I mean, it's pretty tempting not to want to dip your toes in the Atlanta organization to have someone run your baseball operations.
I know. It's ridiculous.
What's Lonnie saying?
Lonnie said that, Matt, you are on a wagon like a child on a Fisher-Price big wheel. Lonnie thinks he's funny, huh?
I guess so. But and I just did want to update picks, Tony. So on Friday, I actually had a perfect 3-0.
Right.
You went 2-1. So I did pick up another game there. Obviously, we have our picks to make today, and I have a 17-14 lead. So anybody's game here. Wow, Lonnie throwing a scud saying, and Renee, what type of dry ass hello was that?
Wow.
Hey!
Hello.
Oh.
And then
oh wow, Lonnie continuing with the scuds. He, as in Matt, is so small. He might be smaller than RJ, dude. The height.
Wait, because Matt, how tall are you?
Come on, dude.
Oh man.
Oh, dude.
But you know, probably against our wishes, not really, but you know what I mean. The season, hello, Renee. That's what Lonnie says. And then he says 5'7". He said it last night.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
Lonnie thinks he's big. He's like 6'2". Whoa.
But you know, the season continues on. Now, the Mets, are they still at home, or I know they're playing they are at home against the Pirates.
Yeah.
So I mean, an opportunity here, right, to at least get some wins. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, you just sound very confident in that, dude.
No, because I know you're tight, but
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think there's Carrasco's on the mound, right?
If he ever was going to pitch well, though, no.
I guess so, but it's just, I mean, I don't know. It's just at this point of the season where the Mets are just trying different players in different positions. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess, you know what? Fine. Give me the Mets. All right.
Cookie, a quality start?
Quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs. Lindor, 2 home runs. Alonso, another dinger. Mets win 5-3. Take it. Bag it.
Lindor, the greatness of Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
Looking back, though, do you think, you know, we had a point about Lindor?
I mean, listen, it hasn't been anywhere near a perfect acquisition, but I mean, the question was, name a good acquisition. Lindor is a good acquisition. Without Lindor, like, we would have probably like way less wins.
Yeah, and I think
and he's a great shortstop. He's a great shortstop.
The greatness of Lindor.
I think it's kind of unfair, you know, like any other typical Yankee fan. Oh, well, when you look at Aaron Judge, well, yeah, like obviously, like Aaron Judge is one of the best players in the league. Like you're comparing him, like you are somewhat comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah, I just think it's like the point we're trying to make, which I think you understand, is like when he walked into the building, you had a certain expectation, and he's fallen short of that. And I think that's all we were saying, which you understand, though. We broke down the numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? You obviously wanted that guy in Cleveland, the same time.
I mean, he's been, you know, a little lackluster for sure offensively. But I mean, if you really do, you know, again, like look at the numbers compared to any other player in his position. I mean, he's the upper echelon of shortstops in the league.
And
so like his, you know, like again, like the value of him at the time in the market, I mean, it was no way like a bad move, I think, by the Mets.
And do you think, you know, obviously he's going to be with the Mets for, you know, looks like the rest of his career. Obviously, you don't know what'll happen down the road, but signed through the 2031 season.
That's crazy.
Do you think his best, like in terms of offense, his best offensive seasons are ahead?
Yeah, I do. I think they are ahead of him. Again, you look at this player. You know, he's youthful. He's speedy. He seems to be in great shape. He's got a great attitude. And on top of that, I mean, it's, knock on some wood, it doesn't really seem like he has many issues with injuries. I mean, this guy plays a lot of games. He is an everyday reliable player that you can bet on playing. And again, you really haven't heard of him, like really struggling physically with anything. So I think health in a big contract like this is a huge thing to have. Because you would imagine so that, like you've seen in the past couple seasons, so he'll continue to have that positive attitude, to work on his offense. And then of course, I mean, he really hasn't like buckled defensively, really.
And I know, there's so many factors that go into it. Who knows what the lineup will look like next season, but do you have like a certain expectations in terms of like average home run RBIs, like that complete season that you've been looking for, like for next season? And let's assume, you got obviously Alonso back and some of the younger guys getting shots. So like a decently deep lineup. Do you have anything like, are you expecting a return to the 30s in home runs? The batting average is like 270, 280, over 100 runs scored and driven in. Like, where are you at with that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, next season I think is going to be huge again. We have a lot of young guys that would obviously potentially be coming up and having their first experiences in the major leagues. You want Lindor, bless you,
thank you,
a player of his caliber, of his attitude, to be performing well, set an example. Not to mention, he just really needs to have a phenomenal season under his belt as a Met. So yeah, you're looking for someone to be touching around 280, 290 batting average. I mean, I would be happy with like 28, 29 home runs. Around 30 would be great. And then of course, RBIs is something that he's been, again, leading the league in his position for like the past couple of years now. He's at, I think we mentioned 69 yesterday. I mean, at the end of the season, like, yeah, you want him to be touching 100 for sure.
Yeah. And maybe scoring 100.
Yeah.
Being
stealing some more bags as well. Like you really need him to have, like, he's going to be a veteran on the team at this point. Like he's going to be one of the players who's been around compared to the new guys getting brought up. So he's got to set that example.
And do you think, like, if next year, it doesn't go that way, that then you'd be like, all right, I mean, like, you're tight, basically.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, as long as, again, if it's a good season, you're happy with it.
Right.
It is going to be a tough season for everyone because, again, I mean, as of right now, I mean, the Mets organization is talking to be competitive, in 2025.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, that I'm sure for Lindor, for Alonso, it's going to be for McNeil, for Nimmo, it's going to be a little tough to hear.
But it's just, it really doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying that next year they need to beat the Braves for the division,
No.
But there's no reason that they can't have a good offseason.
Right.
And at least be in like the 90 win conversation.
No, yeah, I totally agree.
Conversation.
But again, like that, I mean, that's what
their
management is saying right now.
Maybe poor management.
Management.
Why say that?
And then
what's the point? Why temper? I mean, I guess you want to temper.
And then on top of that, it's like we're hearing this from Max Scherzer, who's not on the team anymore, that this is what he spoke with Epler about. So it's like, again, all like, the nonsense, the deceit, the lies, of management to the media, to the fans. Like, you really don't know, honestly, what their plan is, which is why, I get a little upset. But yeah, I mean, it's time for Lindor to buckle down, for Alonso to buckle down. Like, next year has to be like those veterans have to set the tone. Those core guys have to set a tone. I can't be having Nimmo in a horrific slump leading off in the lineup. Again, it's going to be a huge comeback year for the Mets. I understand maybe they're just talking about being competitive in 2 years to cut the bar low, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, like, you're going to have so many young guys in the team, so many new faces. Francisco Alvarez is going to be in his sophomore year. We've talked about sophomore years.
Following
up, it's always a little tough, especially after a big year. So you really need Alonso and Lindor to lead the team, both like by example and, like talking to these young guys.
And what do you think about what Lonnie says?
Do you guys think if Buck is let go, it will have an effect on Lindor since that's his man's? I mean, I think it'll have effect on almost everyone in the clubhouse. Again, you're assuming they're telling the truth here, but a lot of those guys have been standing up for Buck in terms of, their interactions with him, how they feel about playing for him. It seems like that they really do love it. I mean, yeah, I think it will have an effect on all the players. I mean, you saw it even with Scherzer and Verlander leaving. I mean, people were like kind of tight. You saw it with Robertson getting moved too. Like, I think that it was a tough realization for all these guys in the clubhouse to be like, all right, like the season's kind of over. They're dumping players, say what you will about, the Mets. I mean, they were certainly working towards winning a World Series. They seemed to be, all of them were bought in.
Right.
And it didn't work out. So I think it would be tough. It would be tougher to see Buck go for a lot of these players. But hey, they're professionals, and I'm sure as long as whoever they bring in is someone that they can still follow. I mean, I think Lindor's still gonna have a great year next year. Yeah.
Is there anybody that stands out that you think, because the reports with the clubhouse and stuff, like anybody specific that stands out as like potentially a rat that could be, causing the tension that's there?
I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's tough to say. Obviously, again, for someone who's me, obviously outside looking in as a fan, but I mean, you got to think like, it's coming from like a Jeff McNeil or maybe Lindor. I'd like to think not so much Lindor, just because of his attitude, since the whole raccoon incident. And again, like, I mean, so far, think about where the Mets were during that raccoon incident. It wasn't a great time for the Mets in general.
Right.
But you look at the Mets now, they are in, not even arguably, undisputably a worse situation than they were at that time with the raccoon. So, and there hasn't been anything crazy like that. So you would think the beef has been squashed. You would hope so.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's very interesting that they're kind of speculating about clubhouse issues within the Mets organization. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know who it could be, because you really wouldn't expect it to come from Alonso. I mean, the guy is so quiet all the time. Like, I don't think he'd be causing many issues. The young guys, I mean, I don't think, Alvarez and Beatty have both seemed so loved on the team.
And just appreciating the opportunity.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's really tough. You wouldn't expect it out of Nimmo. I could see, I don't know. I mean, Marte hasn't played a lot of games, so I can't see his attitude affecting much.
Unless people were just tight of them, thinking he's not working hard enough to come back.
Yeah, maybe the whole groin injury from the offseason. Like, what are you doing? I don't know, man. I think, I don't know. It's tough to kind of pinpoint it. And then again, like the rumors about Scherzer and Verlander are not gelling. Like, what the hell is that about, dude?
Right.
I honestly, I really don't think there's much of a clubhouse issue, as it is just they're all majorly disappointed, and they're lost.
There's finger pointing when teams, underperform. I mean, that's
exactly
part of the game, and I'm sure, some of that's going on in the Yankee clubhouse to an extent. Obviously, we don't hear about it, but I mean, there's got to be tension, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, how could the pitchers not be pissed? At the hitters. I mean, it's that simple. And obviously last night or yesterday afternoon anyway, was different because the bullpen did blow it. But we know the reason why they are where they are has been because of the offense. And now they find themselves in a very precarious situation here. 3 games set in Atlanta. You're 5 games back of a wild card. You're only 2 games over 500. You're 5 under on the road. So you're 5 under on the road. Atlanta is 17 over at home. And they got Max Fried on the mound. And he is going against Clark Schmidt, who has pitched well for the Yankees. The one thing being, not a lot of length in the starts. And I know they've went to the bullpen a lot recently. And you would think some of the guys like Tommy Kahnle are a little worn down from being used all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you really, with Clark Schmidt, I mean, you don't expect him to go deep in the game. So some people are going to need to get outs. And I know, like, Loizaga wasn't used yesterday. So, he'll play a big role in this. And I don't know if they go back to Holmes just to kind of get his confidence back up. He hadn't been used much recently due to the lack of winning. So that's something. And then, you look at Max Fried pitching for Atlanta. He missed most of this season, with injury. He's only pitched, I believe, 36 innings this year, 7 starts. And last time out wasn't great. On the road in Pittsburgh. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Did have a good start on the road in Chicago, 6 scoreless, but then gave up 7 runs, 5 earned at home against Baltimore. So, you never know what you're going to get. And I think that, it bodes well for the Yankees that he's a lefty. You saw what they did to Jesus Luzardo on Friday. So, I know Lonnie's going to be chuckling, but I'm going to go with it one more time. I like Clark Schmidt, and, 2 out of the 3 games in Miami. I mean, if we want to just dig deep for positives, I mean, the offense was alive, doing what they were supposed to do. Yesterday was a prime example. So you just hope, they stack the lineup with righties and they get some runs off Fried early. Let Schmidt settle in. Hopefully he can give you 6, and the bullpen will find a way to piece together those last 3 innings. So give me the Yankees, Tony. We are going to say 5-3 over the Atlanta Braves.
Wow. You seemed a little hesitant when you said, give me the Yankees.
Well, because I know it's laughable at this point, given what we've seen.
Well, I think, with Max Fried, honestly, is probably your best bet to get a win, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
not pitched that
much.
much.
He's pitched like 5.
A lefty,
games,
too.
Dude. Yeah.
They've had success against lefties.
So I like it, dude. By the way, Lonnie did ask, is that the cocaine bull?
Is he talking about Max Scherzer?
Behind Tony? Yes, dude. Shout out to Al, by the way. We're going to find a more permanent spot for these. But we got here the cocaine bull himself, dude. Max Scherzer with some authenticated game-used dirt from the mound of Citi Field, dude.
That is really good.
Like, come on, you really don't see things like this pretty often. Dude.
No,
it's pretty fucking sick, dude.
So that was, we appreciate Al hooking it up and
so nice of
collection
him,
here in the
it
studio.
really is. And honestly, I really can't wait because I've always wanted, like the second they signed Scherzer, I kind of want to get a Scherzer jersey, and I'm sure now
they're on the cheap.
They're probably gonna be on sale.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be sick, dude. But my next pick here, we were talking about Dusty Baker and the Astros. I'm gonna pick the Astros here against the Marlins. Framber Valdez here on the mound for the Astros, and I just think, pound for pound, I know Framber Valdez had a little bit of a tough outing against Baltimore. Still got the win for the Astros though, because of their offense, and I just think pound for pound, and the Astros are just a better team than the Marlins here. And I think, I don't know, this guy, what's his name? Braxton Garrett, young guy against a nice, Houston lineup here. I think he could struggle. I mean, you look at his, his last few starts, haven't been anything terrible, but struggled against Baltimore, a little bit against Colorado in Colorado too. So, he doesn't have a lot of experience around the league. Give me the Astros. I'll say they win 6-4.
I like it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's a great selection there. I'm going to go with the Mariners. Logan Gilbert on the hill versus Brady Singer. You look at the numbers, obviously Gilbert way outperforming Singer this year, 10-5, 3.66, Singer 8-8, 5.05, but recently has been better. Yes. But I think, against a team like the Mariners, right in the thick of things in the playoff race here, I don't think they're going to perform well here. I think the Mariners will get the bats going, maybe a Julio Rodriguez home run or 2. And I think very easy to see Gilbert giving them 6 scoreless. So I think it's a nice, easy, and obviously this doesn't help the Yankees, Mariners being ahead of them in the wild card standings, but give me the Mariners here. I'm going to say 7-3. I think this one's pretty easy.
Yeah, I like that one too. Good pick here. I'm going to go with the Giants tonight. We got a nice rookie on the mound, Ryan Walker. I think he has only 1 start this season for them, bullpen guy for the most part, but his last 5 appearances, he's pitched 5 1/3 innings, give up only 1 run. So that's pretty good. Against some tough teams too, like LA, Arizona, Texas. He's made some good appearances here. And I do think, the Rays we've seen, struggle down the stretch of the season. They're facing, a lot of turmoil in Tampa Bay because of, outside stories we know about Wander Franco. Obviously, it seems like Shane McClanahan might have to do Tommy John now, which is tough for him. And tough, obviously, for the Rays. Tyler Glass now on the mound, who we've seen, have some struggles in his, return to the game here. So I think the Giants can sneak one past Tampa Bay here. I say they win 3-1.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Still can't believe Wander. Wow. Talk about blowing it. Huh?
I know, dude. You know what was kind of crazy too? I heard this on Rick and Dave, which was obviously, Damer and Grassa, but they were saying how yesterday was like Wander Franco hat day for kids under 15. Yeah, I know, dude. Like
talking about a snafu. Wow.
Oh,
that's tough.
I know.
That
it really
is tough.
Also, Lonnie here says Mad Max jersey should be pretty cheap now. Maybe not $2 like your other jersey, but cheap. I don't know why Lonnie has such an issue against like, fake jerseys.
Yeah.
Because it's like, like, I mean, I have real jerseys. They're expensive. When I have, if a gift or the opportunity to buy one of my own, I'll buy one. But it's like, if I want like a knock around jersey, especially throughout college to wear to parties and stuff, not to care about the stains or the beer, whatever, dude.
The drinking
on it, ripping it, maybe gets caught on something. It doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah.
That's why. Come on, Lonnie. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect? All right.
Yeah. And I don't know. And I think you feel the same way too. Like, I just like, to me, anything with my team's logo on it, I'm all about. And it's like, I don't know. I've never like been that deep into the merch and memorabilia game. Like I like it, but I don't know. I don't need to go the extra mile, I guess.
Right. Oh, now he's saying I don't have an issue. It was a joke. Damn it, dude. No, but you know what? No. Because you keep mentioning it. All right, dude.
And I'm kind of almost doing this to overall, of course, I want my picks here. So I hope that you prove me right here, or prove me wrong, actually. Just the fact that you're telling me, Scherzer pitching well for Texas. So he's at home against the Angels, who are now 1 game under 500. Patrick Sandoval has been decent this year, but obviously the Rangers well outperforming the Angels here. So let's see your Mad Max, your 6 innings, your 9 strikeouts, your 1 earned run, limiting the walks and the home runs, Tony. That 1 solo home run to Ohtani. And let's see the Rangers at home dispose of the Angels. Let's say 7-4. Is that okay, Tony?
Yeah, I can't believe you're picking Scherzer, dude.
Well, let's see it. Money where your mouth is, right?
All right.
Right. Limited slate.
Game used dirt. Let's go.
Game used dirt. Let's go. And he says the name on the back of the Yankees jersey is what I have an issue with. And I think moving forward, Lonnie's gotten me to get that emphasis because you don't need an authentic jersey to not have the name. So I will be on the lookout for that. I guess I really wasn't thinking, and I don't know. I think it's like started like when I was younger. I just always liked having somebody's name on a jersey, but I get it. Tradition. Yeah. I understand that. That's at the end of the day,
I still feel like when we went to Yankee Stadium, there are a lot of people that do have names, the name.
Yeah. But
which is fine, I guess.
Yeah, either way.
I wouldn't. Honestly, I love the fact that they don't have their names in the jersey.
Yeah.
I think it's sick.
Tradition.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah.
Like it's bigger than just you, okay?
That's true. That's
not just
true.
the name on the jersey. Logo on the front.
So what a time, right?
What a show.
What a show.
What a life.
Let's get that done, America. Great show last night. And I was just saying too, obviously disappointing for us specifically, but stretch run of baseball.
Right.
Always exciting.
The playoff in the golf, dude. Very exciting.
Playoff in the golf. The fact that football around the corner, divisional previews, Tony, around the corner, season predictions. So I hope you're studying up on that.
Yeah, I gotta. And then we'll be having the hockey predictions soon as well.
The hockey predictions. And what about as soon as Madden is released, the Madden Gaming Corner? I'm expecting
next
big
week,
things.
right?
Look it up. I was expecting big things out of you on this one.
Tomorrow.
Wow. That's actually
dude.
crazy. That is crazy.
Josh Allen.
So we will have that coming up. Wow. We actually we'll have to see, but we almost could do that next week.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want.
Do you have something slated on?
I was
Monday?
gonna have something for next Monday, yeah, but we can move it.
I can do a different day. I'm down if you're down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like it I'm expecting you dialed in, no excuses, nothing about the computer doing it right for me, wrong for you. I'm expecting you to step up, Tony.
Yeah,
win the game.
Well, there's some poor calls in the past, dude.
Danny V
dude.
continuing the theme of it's football season, baseball season is out of here.
In New York, he says. Lonnie says, let's go.
And then Lonnie saying, let's go. #Giants Bernie. So football in the air. Exciting time.
It is.
Let's go. And once again, really appreciate everybody tuning in.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Continuing
Great show.
to comment, like, and subscribe. Checking out all the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee in costume. The merch at downtimetv.com. Shout out to the company. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Mex and Scherzer.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.